everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about your second draft. What are the things that you have to take care of when you are working on the second draft for your blog? But before that, if you have not watched the first 3 videos of this series, then make sure you watch them, because watching any of these videos from between will not help you to understand the process of creating a blog post. So make sure you watch those videos and then you come back to this video. Also, do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not done that yet. And if you are seeing my face for the first time, then welcome to the community. I hope you leave this channel with a subscription today. So, second drafts. Well, in the first 3 videos, I have explained the content research part, the content outline part, how you should create your first draft. Now, you may ask that, well, the first draft is ready, okay? Now, how can you take it to the next level? How can you improve it? So, that is what the second drafts are for. Your second draft is meant to polish, it is meant to refine your first draft. Like I have always said, like I've said in the previous video of this series as well, that first drafts are imperfect. They are supposed to be messy, they are supposed to be all over the place, right? In the second draft, you get into the mind of an editor and you sit down to refine that draft, you sit down to edit that draft. Now, while you are working on your second draft, you have to take care of 2 important things. Number 1, you have to correct all the spelling mistakes, all the punctuation, and all the grammatical errors in your first draft. Because, like I said in the previous video, when you're writing your first draft, don't think about anything, just write, just let your creativity flow. But from your second draft onward, you have to be in the mind of an editor. You have to read it as a editor, and then you have to improve it, you have to make it more polished. Now, how do you do that? Like I said, 2 things. The first one is improving and correcting all the grammatical errors, all the spellings, all the punctuation mistakes, and sentence formation, shortening your sentences, giving enough white space. So for the first point, we are talking about grammar and your proper format, the proper structure. Remember that we created a content outline in the second video. So this is your time that you put everything in place into that content outline, and if needed, you add more information as well, because it will not be like you have done your first draft and when you're coming to your second draft you will have a creativity block. No, it will not happen, because when you come back to your blog, the first draft that you wrote, just a point of addition here, that always give 24 hours between both the sittings, right? So let's say I am working on my first draft today, I will not get back to the second draft until tomorrow the same time, because this 24 hours break, this staying away from your first draft for 24 hours, it will help you to get better ideas, it will help you to get more structure to your content. So when you come back to your second draft on the next day, correct it for grammars, correct it for your punctuation and all of that stuff, but most importantly, add any relevant information that you feel is needed. Also, when you are reading your entire first draft, obviously there will be a lot of stuff that will need editing, there will be a lot of polishing. That is why your second draft is important. It is even more important than the first draft, because your first draft is all very unfiltered, it is very raw, it is very authentic, but your second draft is what gives shape to your blog, it is what brings it into a proper structure, right? Have you ever seen a potter, how they give shape to their utensils, right? First of all, the first draft is with that raw mud. They are just giving it, they are just collecting the mud, right, in their vessel, in the plate that they use for their moldings of utensils. So that is what you do with your first draft. On the first draft, you are just collecting all the mud and you are just accumulating it at one place. But from your second draft onward, you start to give it a shape. You start to mold it into a proper structure by adhering to your content outline and following every single heading, subheading, or more narrow subheadings that you would have added to your content. That is what you do with your second draft. Now, another important thing, the second point that I was mentioning. So, your second point is very simple. Every single sentence that is there in your blog, it should tie back to the title of the blog, because it should be in the mind of the reader that the person is not distracted. They have stayed well within the lane of the title. They are solving my problem by sticking to the title. They are not bringing information from here and there, and the writer is very mindful of writing everything that is there that is supposed to be answered in the blog. This is very, very important, because a lot of people complain, I have seen a lot of marketers, a lot of writers complain that nobody reads long form blogs. Well, that is not true. People will read it if you are giving answers to their solutions. If you are giving them what they want, they will read your content and they will read it till the end. So it is very, very important that in your second draft, you make it more structured with all, by fixing all the grammar, sentence formation and punctuation and all of that stuff. But most importantly, you adhere to the title of your blog and you tie back every single sentence to what has been promised in the title. It should not be like you promised something in the title and half of the blog has gone and you have not even started talking about it. That's not it. That's simply a recipe to lose your reader, like this, because that is what happens. So when you are working on your second draft, make sure that you are polishing it in every single way. That is how you improve your second draft, and this was everything I wanted to share with you about the second draft. So make sure when you work on your second draft, you take care of all these things. I will see you in the next video and the next part of this series, which will be the third draft, which is essentially the most important of the entire process. So make sure you subscribe to my channel to not miss that video, and I will see you around on my Instagram or LinkedIn. If you have not followed me there, then make sure you do. Until then, thank you for watching this video. Keep writing, keep improving your writing skills.